Welcome back to Tarot by the Bay. I'm David. Well, I'm back. My brother and I flew up to Washington State on Friday morning, up at 4 in the morning. Our Uber was here at 4:30 to get to the airport, and man, was the airport packed on a Friday morning. Oh, Lord, I've never seen it so bad. Anyways, we flipped to Washington because I purchased a car. In this case, a 2007 Miata that had like 17,000 original miles on it. And then on Friday and Saturday, my brother and I drove it back home. So all the videos you watch were recorded in the mid part of last week, so I could keep giving you content. I only got one video up for Sunday, and darn it, I give you 2 videos a day, and I'm going to give you 2 videos come hell or high water. Now, what kind of fun stuff happened while I was gone? I don't know, but I did hear that Donald Trump wants cameras in the courtroom for the January 6th trial. Jack Smith is arguing against it, I guess because from what I'm reading on here is that the law says that they can't have cameras. But I think the judge gets the final say on that one. Federal and local rules prohibit televised trials of this nature. But Trump wants it, and frankly, I want it. I think this is one of those things that if there were rules, this is the time you make an exception for it, because America needs to see the evidence. They need to see people testifying under oath. And if they're lying under oath, they need to see, most importantly, the cross-examinations. To me, this is a critical juncture for this trial in this case. So let's go ahead and look at that. Let's look at the energy of cameras in the courtroom, in Judge Chutkan's courtroom for the January 6th trial. What's the energy around having cameras in the courtroom? 9 of Wands. This is probably as good look as any. Oh crap! What are we gonna get if this is televised? What is gonna come jumping out of Pandora's box on this? Because we've already seen Trump in the civil trial just go unhinged on the judge and ranting and raving and so on and so forth, and there were no cameras there, nor was there a jury. And that's exactly what he wants. He wants a jury in there that he thinks he can influence, and he wants cameras in there so he can get his message about how this is a witch hunt and a fraud and et cetera, et cetera. But I think also people need to see his behavior and when he's under oath and how he doesn't answer questions when he's asked simple, direct, yes-no questions, how he refuses to answer them. And they also need to see witnesses that answer questions that are yes-no questions, either by pleading the fifth or whatnot, and not defending themselves and committing perjury. Because it's going to be stuff like that. They're going to say, well, why doesn't Rudy Giuliani or Sidney Powell say the election was stolen and they refuse to do it? Because of perjury and evidence. They need to see that because it'll cause questioning. In the past, we've got the Sun card. Again, as I was mentioning, we're starting to see, Trump on trial. We're starting to see people flipping and making deals with prosecutors. The truth is coming out, but the truth needs to be revealed to everyone. Fox News isn't covering this. They aren't covering it. The right wing isn't covering it. And if you put the January 6th trial on TV, people will watch. Whether they're MAGA or non-MAGA, they will watch. The MAGA is because they know Trump's going to win the case, so they're going to want to see their boy take it to the prosecutors. And boy, won't it be a shock when they find out that their guy is being brought down because he's crazy. He doesn't answer questions, and there's all this evidence against him. And they're going to be wondering, why isn't he defending himself? Why isn't he taking it to Jack Smith and sticking it in there? Because all the evidence, all the testimony, everything's going to be against Donald Trump. It's going to bring him down, and it's going to bring him down not only in court, but for the American public, for those willing to watch and be convinced that Donald Trump is not who he says he is. Again, there are fanatics in that cult who will not give up on dear leader. They are passionate about this man. They will go to the ends of the earth for him, and you'll never get those folks. They will drink the Kool-Aid that that he serves them because they are passionate, devoted culties. That's just the way it is. But you're going to see Donald Trump, emotionally losing it. He can't control his emotions. He's a giant crybaby. Entertainment purposes only. And if you're a Trumper and you're watching this, truth hurts. Sorry. It's going to be, he's just going to rage. He's just going to rage, it'll be just like the civil case, except we'll get to see it this time. We'll get to see him just losing his mind, acting like a spoiled man-child. People will be quick to cast judgment on it. And I think in some ways this will help quickly change the minds of certain people, including independent voters. Again, you're not going to get the MAGA cultists. The MAGA cultists are the MAGA cultists. They're never going to change their mind. They just aren't. But you might get other people to change their mind and change it quickly. And maybe they'll finally start to understand just how close we were to losing our democracy. Underneath it all is the page of wands. It's going to be the messaging. Trump wants to do it because he wants to send his messaging out to people. But I think with the sun card underneath here, that messaging might be reaching out to others who, maybe for the first time in a long time are outside of their information silo. And they're starting to get part of the other part of the story that they don't get from their normal news channels and such. That Knight of Swords could also be the decision being made if they do it. But that's kind of the energy around it. I think there's going to be a really quick decision. Let's go ahead and throw on that little four-carder. Will cameras be allowed in courtrooms? I really hope they are. I think it'll be a huge disservice to the U.S. if they are not. Trump certainly wants it because he's a drama king. He's a total drama king. He knows that that's his strong point. But the thing is, he's really losing his mental edge and his faculties. He doesn't command like he used to. All right. Cameras in the courtroom. Well, there's going to be a judgment on it. They will rule. Not like you get a choice to ignore it. The Devil, the Magician, and the Queen of Swords. And the Empress. Wow, look at all the major arcana on there. 4 out of 5. Yeah, this is an important decision that's being made. It's for the good of the country. That everybody on all sides of things sees what's going on. We've got to show... we've got to show and put the faith of the court system into the people watching it. The full faith of the court system in the United States Department of Justice. Yeah, Trump's going to try and abuse it. He's going to try and use it to send messages to his base, to just cause mayhem inside the courtroom. But the judge can control things. And she's a strong judge. And it's going to show how fair she is, how much crap she will and will not put up with, and how much crap he just keeps throwing out there, because that's all he's got. All he's got is BS. So he's going to sling it like a gorilla in the zoo at all the spectators in the gallery and in the jury box. But again, for the good of the United States, this is something that needs to happen. So I'm guessing that we will get this televised. All right, we get some shuffles down in here. How will televising this case impact the psyche of America? I think that's probably the best way to, not necessarily will the MAGA people change their mind or will the independents, how will it affect the psyche of America? I mean, because we could be wrong. It could be that this really is a witch hunt and we've been duped and completely fooled for the last, several years on this. And the thing is, with folks on the left, they kind of allow for that. They will allow that. Maybe I'm wrong. They'll think about it. they'll self-reflect. But the problem is that the facts that are out there do not support that we're wrong. It does not support that we're in the fake reality, the alternate reality. Literally, when there's video footage of Trump saying something and then he denies saying it, and all his sycophants all deny that he said it, even though there's verifiable proof that he said something. That's how you know you're on the right side of things. Just the gaslighting. Constant gaslighting. Okay. How will this trial being televised affect the American psyche? Entertainment purposes only. Let's find out. Oh, my wife went to the Queen concert the other day and bought me back a concert t-shirt. I was in Washington getting a car, so I was not able to go to the Queen concert. But she went and had a great time. Probably their last tour in North America. I've seen Queen twice, so 3 times. The moon, mysteries. Things are going to be revealed. The craziness, the lies, the gaslighting, the secrets, the confusion, the obfuscations. Everything's going to be revealed in this one, or there'll be a revealing of it. Queen of Cups. I think it's really going to blow the lid on the truth. Everything that's been clamped up and held down, the whole truth is about to be exposed. And it's going to bring things crashing down. Now, who's going to bring it crashing down? The government or Trump? Well, being the government has evidence and Trump has opinions, evidence wins in court trials time and time again. So this is going to be an absolute taking down of Trump's power. In the past, the emperor. It's going to show how, Donald Trump basically was trying to install himself as an emperor in the United States, as an authoritarian government. He was well aware of the plot to overthrow the election and install himself effectively as a dictator in the country. That's going to be revealed. That's what this whole thing has been about. Disappointment, betrayal, with all the people that are flipping from, Mark Meadows to his lawyers and everything else. This story is going to be laid out bare. And as much as the cult members will want to continue drinking from the cult, when Mark Meadows is saying the same thing as Sidney Powell is saying the same thing as who else has flipped on that case? Eastman hasn't flipped yet because they haven't asked opinion, but kind of getting all the people that have turned evidence over, all the evidence that they have. There's going to be a lot of people really disappointed in the GOP and on Fox News and the right-wing news media sources. So now there's a decision to be made. Do you continue going down Team Trump land, or do you stop? Even if you don't want to vote for a Democrat, maybe you're not going to go out and vote for Trump, because you might just realize that you've been lied to. People are going to have to make decisions as to where they want to go with this country. Lesson to be learned is the background. Now, I'm sure you're going to find out about money and money changing hands, and was the government was in the balance, and who was involved with all the background plotting and planning. So you kind of get an idea of who's who of the bad guys. But I wonder if also this could mean that people may start quietly talking with family members that they've disagreed with in the past. Just a little bit of humility, humbleness, embarrassment, and it's done, quietly on one-on-one conversations in whispers, like, I'm really sorry. I had no idea. I hope I didn't hurt your feelings too bad. Maybe we could just never talk about this again so I don't have to be humiliated by my decisions. That kind of thing. Outcome is the Page of Cups. Some people are going to be looking at out of this whole thing. They're going to look at this administration a whole new light. They're going to see how unusual and not what they were told things were. They're going to realize they've been drinking, ground up fish water, and that it really is disgusting. It's not the tears of not liberal tears that they've been tasting. It's the lies that they've been fed, and that's why they're so bitter. Again, not everybody's going to turn. The MAGAs are going to be the MAGAs no matter what happens. But other folks are going to turn against Trump. And what you need is just that constant turnover, that constant moving away from MAGA and the far right. Not only in the executive branch, though, but up and down the ticket. MAGA needs to be rejected in the Senate and in the House, in the state senates, in the state houses, and the governorships, in the school boards, local elections, so on and so forth. It's going to take a long time to fully stamp this out because there's a lot of racism in the United States, and conservative people don't like to see change, especially when you're a white male and you've had all the advantages, both societal and monetary advantages and such. Giving up those advantages for a level playing field, why would you want to do that? From your point of view, the playing field is level because if you're not very skilled and the game's slanted in your favor, you think you're skilled. You know what I mean? If you suddenly realize that the game's been, rigged in your favor, it suddenly realize that you may not be as skilled as you thought you were. And the ego has a real hard time with that, which is one of the reasons why I think people are so slow and unwilling to give up what they have, because they might find that while they didn't purposely advance because of this, they did advance because of the bias in the game. And their ego can't handle the fact that they aren't superior to others. Welcome to life. It's self-discovery and self-reflection. Cameras in the courtroom. It's good for the U.S. It's good. It's going to be really good for us. Knock on wood that we get it. Okay, everyone. Thank you again for watching this video and supporting my channel. I appreciate it. Thank you for everything you do to feed the YouTube algorithm so that my video makes it out to a wider and broader audience. And to the new folks to the channel, welcome to the channel. I hope you found this reading insightful, and I hope to catch you on the next one. Take care.